There's Eric going down in. I guess to see what happened to Tony. There's a typical cliff dwelling. He hid down in there. You didn't know it was down there. You probably couldn't even see it. Another cliff dwelling. Mesa Verde is it for cliff dwellings. If you want to see them, you go there. Once you go there, you don't. The troops are from an old cliff dwelling. Getting ready to go over to the museum they had there. And there's another one tucked away in a corner down there. Troops again. Once you went to Mesa Verde, you'd seen the best of all the cliff dwellings there was, and you wasn't really interested in them from then on. There's the Zerk. This one cliff dwelling we went into, that was the only way down. It was the only way to get into that place. One person at a time. They did that for protection. Didn't come down a great big scale, a big ladder to get down to it. And then you can only get in there by coming through one at a time. Was it some of the wood balconies? They're still preserved out there. They're still dry air that they don't rot. This is how you got out of there. There's Tony and Janice May up top there. That's how you climbed up out of there. Big ladder. There's some cliffs that was opposite of the there's a canyon over there. If you look real close, you can see another cliff dwelling up near the upper edge in the middle there. And Eric and Dee Dee hot putting it down a trail. Another shot on the road down there. Another scene shot. I think we were going out. We camped in Mesa Verde for 2 or 3 days, and we were taking a little side trip up into another area there. T-bone. Some scenery shots. Oh, some sort of old ruins along the road there. It's out on the Indian reservation. We passed through there, New Mexico. And we come to the junction in the road. There's a lot of sagebrush out there. Mesa Verde is way over the mountain to the right. There's a little campground in Mesa Verde. It's a little valley. All trees, deer wandered around in there and everything else. That's our red tent and blue screened-in tent. You can see through the trees there. That is the entrance to Mesa Verde. It's a little butte back up in there. This is called Four Corners. It's down near the Grand Canyon. It's where New Mexico, Colorado, and Utah and Arizona all come together there in the corner. And Tony's standing in Colorado, Eric's in New Mexico, and Mom is standing in Utah and Arizona. They straddling the line there. We're down the Grand Canyon country now, Arizona. What the area looks like down in there, it's just flat and desert-like, and they call it the Painted Desert. So it's just a lot of colorful rocks, and hot. 3 shots here. This is our campsite down at in the National Forest. When we got down to the Grand Canyon, all the campgrounds were filled up, and the rangers were telling us we'd have to drive 100 miles north or south to get into the campground. And one of the guys that worked there, in one of the stores, told me, he said, you can go back outside the park here, and said you can camp in any national forest land you wanted, so you just open the gate and drive down in there. So nobody bothered you. There's no facilities. We were always rigged up. We always had water, plenty of stuff. So we went out there and drove down and camped in the national forest down there. We slept in the van though. It was kind of wild and woolly down in there. That's the Dee wandering around out there. Here's where Dee dog got in trouble. Somebody, we don't know who owned up to it yet, went out and used the bathroom. And so old Dee, she went out and rolled around in it. So we had to use about half of our water to clean her up. Eric and Tony, they've got tumbleweeds roll around out there. We went hiking down the trail there. A bunch of old dried up tumbleweeds rolling around out there. We are at Grand Canyon. It's so big you can't envision it. You can't really imagine how it looks. It's so big and awesome that you can't really get a finger on it, get a really true picture of it. It's just shot down the canyon there. You can't see it, but the Colorado River is running down through the middle of it down there. There's the three dubers. Just one of the overlooks there. Catone. Catone and her big yucca plant growing up behind her there. We picked up the beans off some mesquite trees and brought them back here and planted them, and they grew. We got mesquite trees all over the place here now, and they came from Grand Canyon. There we are. Here you can see the Colorado River running down through the canyon. Our campsite down in the forestry. The old dirt road went back in there, and we camped off to the left back in the trees back there. Nobody bothered us. Grand Canyon National Park. Here we were cutting north. We're going back up to Utah. And we go up through Utah and then cut back over towards Colorado. We're probably still in Arizona, getting near the Utah border. This is Lake Powell. And a big dam there. They dammed up and created a big lake. This is an Arizona-Utah border here. That's Lake Powell in the background back there. The Dee dog there. She's seen cars way down there by the lake, and they look like little ants, and she thought they're little animals. She started barking at them and running down, and we had to go down and get her. And now we're in Utah. That was some cliff dwellings we ran by to just check in on the small little park there. Wasn't much there. That was in the same area as those cliff dwellings are in. Up into Utah now. Bryce's Canyon now, that's real popular there. They have a lot of formations like that around Bryce's Canyon. New shots. Where our campground is a little place called Kodachrome Basin. It's way back off in the woods. Hollers by itself. It's a neat little campground.